think maybe we're back. Let's see. Yeah. Need this. Yeah, okay, that's running. Hopefully anybody that's here can hear me. That out of the way. Okay, sorry about that. I did not have the microphone set up yet, and OBS didn't want to find it. Didn't want to find it without restarting, so I had to restart. Should have filled up my water maybe too, but that's all right. We'll get going here. So first thing I want to do is quick thank yous to some folks. Let me pull this over here for a second. To Neo Voting is a new follower to the Twitch channel. Thank you for following. And also, I don't think I ever did go through the feed. I didn't have any kind of pop-up or anything set up when the rest of these folks followed. So I'm going to quickly run through the folks that have followed and just say thanks also to Johnny, Neradoc, Malik, 555. Also thanks to all of you folks for following me on Twitch. I think I have the pop-up thing set up now, so theoretically in the future, if people follow, it should pop up the little a little Cyclops guy that says thank you for following. So we'll see if we can catch a follower at some point on the stream and make sure that works. But getting on with what we are going to be working on today. Well, I guess real quick introduction if anybody's watching this and hasn't ever seen me work before, don't know anything about this or me. Real quick, my name is Tim, go by Foamy Guy online, Foamy Guy Twitch here, and it's what we're going to be working on is it's related to CircuitPython, which is version of Python that can run on tiny computers, microcontrollers. We're going to be using this one right here, which is a PyPortal. But we're kind of venturing a little bit outside of the normal stuff that we work on with CircuitPython. This is a project that I built and I started on Saturday. So if you caught the stream on Saturday, I was working on this. It's a Django server that uses a ReactJS front end, which has this design tool built into it. And the goal was to be able to save your design in this tool and have it show up on the PyPortal, which I notice this was actually showing up, but it has since failed. Let's restart the PyPortal real quick. Theoretically, it will go back to showing this image because I actually have a bunch more of this stuff set up now. So you can see it. Let's get it to focus maybe. Oh, there we go. Yep, you can see it downloaded the picture that I have pulled up on the right side over here onto the PyPortal and started showing it. So that is that's up and running. I kind of have a closed loop working here. I'm going to quickly kind of step through some of the stuff that's new since I worked on it on Saturday for folks. If anybody is interested in seeing kind of the new stuff, I'll kind of recap it here real quick. So when I left off on Saturday, it did not have it was posting to the backend. We were posting the base64 data, but it was not doing anything with it. It just printed it out and that was it. So since then, we have gotten a bunch of stuff hooked up. Let's go look at the view in the backend. Views in the backend. So we have where I would have left off, I think I had create plan only, and we basically just got the data out of the request right here and printed it. You can see actually the print is still there, and that was pretty much it. So now we are loading that data up into, let's see, we're getting it out of the post. We're finding out, well, we're splitting the format from the data. We're finding out what extension it has. These things get printed for debugging, and then ultimately that base64 data is going to get fed into PIL, the Python imaging library, or specifically the pillow fork of it. So that's the modern fork that's maintained, one of them at least. So this is a pillow object, PIL is the base library, and then pillow, PILLOW, is the specific one we use that implements it now. So it is able to take the base64 string, turn it into an image object, and then later on we can, right down here, we can build a blob object, a bytes.io object, and we are going to use that to store the image until we save it to a file, basically. So we load it into an image object here. We will convert it right here into, this says mode P, which is for, it's actually for BMP. So we want it to be a BMP file on the PyPortal because that's what it can show. It can't show PNG files yet. So we have to have a BMP file. At one point I had it hooked up where the front end was telling it to use a BMP file, and I thought that was working, but eventually I worked on more and more stuff, and somewhere along the way it stopped working, and I don't really know where or why. So in the end I settled on this because it's easier for me to control because I understand it better. I've used Pillow more than I've used Palatno, the front end framework, so I just have more experience with it, so I know more how to get it done, how to fix it if it breaks. So I figured that would be good. And the other thing is it gives us complete control over that file before we save it. If we wanted to modify that file, you know, choose a specific color palette, or if we wanted to like convert it to a different format or change the size of it, or, you know, pretty much anything we want to do to modify that image, we could do it inside of PIL, and then we could save it after the fact. So that's kind of nice. We could do all that from Python code. So we get it in here, we convert it to BMP, we choose the palette for it right here, which is just going to be the standard web palette. Just has a nice mix of colors. I think that's what that's doing at least. And then it's going to save it right here into this blob thing right here. So we made this bytes.io thing, and it's going to save it into this instead of writing to a file. We want to save it into here because we need to not just write it to a file, but we also need to write it into our model so that it gets stored in the database. Not the file itself, but like the meta information, like the file name, stuff like that. So we want to store it in this thing first. So we're going to save it. Again, we choose the type right here as BMP. We're going to store it in that blob. We will then create a plan object. That's our model. The one model that we have right here is a plan. So we create a plan. Let's go back to the views. We'll talk more about the changes in the plan in a minute, but let's go through here first. So create a plan. Right here is where we can finally set our image. So this is our new plan. We are going to access the content image. We're going to call save function on that content image. We are going to give it a name right here. Right now it's just hard-coded, uses temp.bmp, and then what it will end up doing actually is tacking on extra random characters at the end here to make sure that it has unique file names. So eventually we'll change this to use a name that the user specifies, but right now it's hard-coded. And right here is where we can take our blob and wrap it into a file. And so we're going to save that file inside of this property, right? This property that's on our model, content image, that's one of our fields. It's a file field, so we're going to save our file onto it. And we say save true because we also want it to save the file inside the media directory. So we do want that to happen, so we say save true. Then right here, this is one of the other new things since I left off. This is saving the JSON data, which is JSON that we get from Palatno. I probably should have had this page pulled up here, but that's all right. Let's go Palatno. I think it's .dev maybe. And we can find the docs. Let's make this bigger for a second. So I think it's in here, store. Store has this function right down here. Let's just, oh, there it is. Okay, I was going to search for it, but we happened upon it. So store.toJSON right here. This will basically save a JSON representation of everything that is in the Palatino design. So it will save the page, the size, the background. It will save any and all of these elements. Let's look at what that JSON looks like. I don't know if we have super easy view of it. I don't know if I know what the password is. We might have to create a new user. Yeah. I don't know what the password is. Let's create a new user. So we go. I think we need to do it. We need to do it off the camera. I think it's gonna print. It's gonna print some of the things. I'll do it in here. If it doesn't print anything bad, then I will bring it back on and show the process. But it's basically I'm going to use manage Py to create a user. I will go to the repo. We want to go repos, CircuitPython, PyPortal signage system. So we're going to go in there. Well, it definitely won't show anything if I do just this part. Python. Do we have a virtual environment? I don't think so. Python. Let's check. Let's go to this interpreter. No, okay. Here we go. Manage.py, create super user. That's what we want to do. So it says here, choose a username. I'm going to type. It's probably not going to let me use timc. We'll see. Okay, we can use blank email. So yeah, I'm going to move this off because I don't know if it's going to print. No, it's not. Okay, I don't know if I'll remember that. So successfully created. Now we have a user. I guess maybe I didn't have a user before. I probably would have given it that name. Maybe not though. So we can log into the admin here. This is the Django admin. So this is one of the really nice things. No, we can't remember that because it's gonna be a different page next time. Oh, we don't have admin turned on. Let's do that then, actually. This is one of the really nice things about Django. It comes with the Django administration panel or dashboard or whatever, right? So it's it gives you like a very basic interface that lets you look up and modify all the stuff that's in your database. So it's kind of like a front end that you get just for free without really having to add very much code. But there is a tiny bit of code that you need to add, which is right here. We need to register the model. Let's see. I do not know off the top of my head the code that does that. So we need to let's go Django register model for admin. Let's check that out. Yes. We don't need a custom class for right now. We can just say the model. Don't need admin. We can just say the model, which is plan. We need to import it. Yes, from backend. Okay, so we're gonna save that. It should restart the server automatically. We can go back to the admin page. And now we have this new thing listed here, which has plans inside of it. I can go to plans. We can see all the plans here. They don't have very good names. So they're listed with a name, and it's also just being hard-coded right now. So they all say pretty much the same for the last several ones. The one we want, though, is plan 20, which I can see from the URL in the bottom corner there. And this is the JSON. So I guess it's not super easy to look at. One thing is that it's escaped. So we're not even, we'd have to unescape it and then try to pretty print it or something. So I probably won't do all of that, but you can get a sense of a few things that are in here, right? It's basically a representation of all the things that are in the design page. Again, the width and height, all the fonts that are used. We're not using any fonts. Here's a list of all the pages. Each page has an ID. You know, There's an image object. It's got an XY coordinates. It's got a rotation. It's got a bunch of other properties. So it'll have one of those for all the images. It'll have one of those for the texts. It'll have something declaring the background. All that stuff is stored in the JSON. And we are now storing that JSON inside of our model. We say right here, this is back to the model where we create our plan object. New plan, set the content JSON to the JSON data that we got from the front end. And that is exactly what we just saw in the admin page, is that big blob of JSON. So then we save this new plan. That's going to save it into the database for us. And then we just return successful. Yes, we did successfully create a new plan. So let's give that view a try here. Let me check on Discord. Whoops. Let's see. CircuitPython. Jose. Oh, nice. Perfect. Jose might not be watching this, but Jose is leaving a list for me here of learn guides that I will update to use board.i2c or maybe SPI. Let me say thank you. Perfect. Doobie-doo. Okay. All right. Let's get this back over here. This. Close that for now. We don't need this either. I got it registered. We don't really need the admin anymore, but I'll leave this open. It's nice sometimes. Look in the admin. The thing I want though is the design page here. And actually right now we're actually viewing a specific plan. You can see in the URL view plan 20. So this is looking at plan which is ID number 20, the same one that we just saw actually in admin. So maybe I should keep this. So this is plan 20 from the admin view. It's got a name, which is not very unique again, because it's just hard-coded. It's got the content image. That's the image that we saved as a BMP. It's got the content JSON right there. This over here has loaded the JSON to bring all this stuff back. So like if I go to a different plan, let's create a new plan actually. If we want to create a new plan, I think we do it from the index right now. Not sure if it's still working, actually. It's been a minute since I created a new plan. Let's see if it works. So I go add page. Let's give it a background. That one looks pretty cool. Let's give it something in the foreground. That's good for now. Let's save it. Save button. One other thing is we also don't have any kind of feedback right now that's like saying if it was successful or not. So we can check by going to the API plans, and this will have a list of all the plans. And we do have a new one here, 21. So now we could go view plan 21. It will load this one that we just created. We can also change it. So we have now another view that will let us modify it. I can change this thing by dragging it over here. I can add a text on it also. Let's move it up some, make it white. Maybe yellow. And a little bit smaller. Okay, so it's still hard to see. It kind of clashes with the background, but we just want to have something to change. So then we'll go save. So now 21 should be saved. We just updated it by changing that stuff in it. We go back to 20. 20 still has all of its stuff because it loaded it from its JSON. And if we go back to 21, we will see the new version of it with the hello saved into there. So all of that's working now. Let me show you the other view real quick. This is update plan view. So we looked at create plan view. This one is updating. It's pretty much doing mostly the same stuff. The main thing that's different is instead of creating a new plan object like this, we are just looking up a plan object from its ID right here. So we got the plan ID from the URL. Wrong browser. This ID right here, we have 21 in the URL. We got that. It got passed into our view as this parameter right here, plan ID. We look up the plan that has that ID. We set the content JSON to the new JSON data that we got out of our request. So this is when, basically when the user presses the save button to update a plan, it sends a post request to here. So when we click that save button, look up the plan, we save the new JSON data to it. We will save the new file to it. So we're going to look up the file name because we actually need to delete the old file first. We want to delete it. Otherwise, Django will not save over it. It will do like we saw in this folder. It will make a new random name and save it as a new file, and it won't delete the old one. So then you just get lots and lots and lots of extra files. You could make something to come clean them up. Really what I wanted, though, is to replace the old one. So we're going to go find it and delete it. So we get the file name. We some debugging here, print to say we're going to delete it. We go and remove it. So that's going to delete the file. Now we can save the new one. And we save the new one the exact same way that we saved the other one. We have one of these blobs to save it into memory. We convert it to a BMP file. We save it into that memory thing. We pull up our content image here. We call save on that. We give it, again, the same file name that it had before. So it's going to save in the same place where it used to be because we just got done deleting it. We give it the file blob. And, of course, we do want it to save the file. So we say save, true. And then finally, we save the model to save all that stuff in the database. And then we just return true. So that's the update model that we have now, or the, the update view. So that's how we're able to now create and update these plan objects. So I think that gets us up to speed. And the next thing that I'm going to work on is actually more on the PyPortal side of things. So I did not really get into the PyPortal side of things very much on the stream on Saturday, but I am going to play with that more today. So let me show you the code that's currently on the PyPortal. It is relatively basic. I did start with some kind of simple test. So it's got the wrong copyright in it. Let's change that now that we noticed it. So we will load secrets, pretty straightforward. Here is the URLs that it accesses. So let me actually show one more thing in the browser too. This PyPortal URL, this is another URL and another view that is set up specifically for the PyPortal to look at a plan. So let's get a quick peek at that. Localhost, that's PyPortal. And then, same thing. We just give it the ID that we want. So, nope, one more thing. It's PyPortal plan. Yeah, there it is. PyPortal plan. And this is returning JSON. I do have this fancy thing that's formatting it nicely for me, but the raw data here, you can see it's just regular JSON. It's got a image property that points to the BMP file that's stored inside the media directory for Django, right? So this would be, we could tack this on to part of the URL right here. Like we could say /media/content like this. And that will be the file for us. So that path is stored in the JSON there. And there's also an MD5 checksum or signature of the file. So it hashes the file, it stores the MD5 of it. The intention is to use that to try to make it update only when the plan has changed. But what we will see inside of here is actually the logic is not very good right now, and it does update, I think, more than it should, maybe, in some situations. So we actually want to try to fix the logic a little bit. And that's what I'm going to work on today. But this is the URL it hits, pulls that JSON that we just saw. This is the media URL. This is where it's able to download the BMP files from. Let's see what else we have here. Current working directory. I don't know if we need that, maybe. I'm going to leave it alone. not sure if it's using that to find Blinka. I don't think it's using that for anything else. Any of the new code, I'm not sure. We'll leave it for now though. Anyway, so we're creating a PyPortal object right here. This is using the PyPortal library. Pretty standard stuff here. We're not configuring too much on it. We just set the NeoPixel up. We tell it debug true, so it prints a bunch of nice stuff for us. And then, it's using, I see, it's using the directory right here. And it sets the kind of like a loading screen image. So like before the rest of the code takes over, this will be the first thing it shows, and it's just a picture of Blinka, just a default one from some kind of PyPortal sample project. This is old, we don't need it. That's from some of the code that I started working from, was an older project I had put together. So we got to connect to the network. So we do that. We're going to open the plan.json file. So we have a copy of basically the response to this request. We have a copy of it stored in the SD card. So we're going to open that, we're going to read it, and we're going to load it into an object using JSON loads. Then we can close it. We probably should have some kind of logic here that says like only do this if it exists, because right now, if it didn't exist, it would probably crash. But it does exist, so for now it's running. That's one of the things we could do maybe today. So we read that object. We're checking the MD5 that's inside of there. And we are just going to go ahead and set the background for the first time. So we also have a copy of the image downloaded and saved on the SD card in the PyPortal. So it's going to just load that onto the background. So now we start our loop here, main loop. So first thing we do, fetch the plan from the server. So that's going to fetch this JSON right here. And it's using wget to save it locally back onto the SD card as plan.json. That's the file that we read up here. So it's basically saving the new one onto the SD card. Then it's going to open the new one. It's going to read the JSON from it. And right now the logic is saying that it's going to check the local MD5, which is the one that we read earlier, the one that we read before we replaced it. It's going to check that one and see if it's not equal to the new one or the current one. And if that's the case, if it's not equal to that, it's going to set the local MD5 to the new one. It is then going to download the image. So it's going to take the media URL and substitute in the path that it got from the JSON right here, so that it can download that BMP file and store it on the SD card inside the PyPortal. Debugging, just print OK, garbage collector. Then it will set the background. So now that we have downloaded the new background, we are able to set it on the PyPortal so that it will show up on the screen. And then right now it just waits for 10 seconds. So it will basically do this every 10 seconds. So what that means is that if we come back to our, let's go here, let's make this focus. Let's put that one on this side. Let's grab this one. And you can see in the code here, it is just pointed to plan number 20. So it's always just going to look at plan number 20. So we want to go to plan number 20, and let's make some changes to this. Let's get rid of this photo frame thing. It's kind of cool with Blinka in it there, but that's all right. Let's change it up for now. We got the big Blinka. Let's move her to here. Let's turn this back horizontal, actually. Put it beneath Blinka. Let's also add one of these things. So how did I get these things in here, right? They're not in this list of photos. So how did I get them in here? I used this upload thing. But one thing you can see is it does not store the files. Hey, Keithy, excuse me. Dropping in for a bit of, yep, dropping in a bit late. Yep, getting running a little bit. I'm just showing off the new stuff I've done since Saturday, and I'm about to get going with working on the PyPortal code a little bit. If you're curious about anything, though, definitely you can hit me up in the Twitch chat there. I'm happy to run through anything you are curious about it and you missed. Okay. So this upload is actually pretty cool. We can use this to add our own images. So I can go upload. I can go find some Adafruit stuff like other Sammy. This is my other hard drive. Adafruit art pack. And this is a repo that they have. It's kind of big. There's a lot of stuff in it. So I keep it on this other hard drive. Let's find some other stuff to add. Let's see. I wish I could see these things. This is an AI file. We definitely don't want that. Let's go here. PNG. Oh, that's cool. Let's use that. It's kind of big. That's all right. We'll shrink it down. Okay, so we have a file. This is our file upload thing. So we're going to say car.png, open. So now it shows up here. So we can now drag it over to here, resize it. One thing is it has a background. We could go cut the background out if we wanted to. This thing will not do it for us, I don't think. It'll do it for us? That'd be cool, huh? No. No. Okay. We could do it in the back end, maybe. But really, we could just do it in a photo editor. Be the way to do it. Easiest, probably. Let's scoot Blinka over a little bit. So now we got the car in there too. And let's move Sparky down to here. You can have Blinka over here. Blinka is a little bit fuzzy. I don't know if you can see it through the stream here, but it happened to be a really small Blinka. I think I used one of the emojis. So it's really meant to be an emoji, and so I just scaled it up. It looks all right on the PyPortal though, truthfully. So now we've changed this. Let's make sure this camera's ready here. And we'll go save, and we'll load the camera here. And then because we have a 10-second loop, within 10 seconds, we saw it right there, this will go ahead and update. So now we have kind of a closed loop. We can just edit this page, and we can click save. So after we make our edits, we click save. Within 10 seconds, the PyPortal will download it and show the new version. So this is really cool. This is basically what I had envisioned when I sat down to make this project. And we're here. It works now, so that's really awesome. Let's play around with it just a little bit, and then we'll dive into the PyPortal code and start making it a little better. Let's change this up a little more too. Let's change the background. They got a bunch of cool backgrounds built in. Wonder if you could upload a background. I'm not sure. Load. Oh yeah, this is gone already. So I don't know if you can drag it back off. No. Yeah. So that's one thing. We'll need to hook this up to the backend some more to save those files somewhere so that they can keep showing up here. The other thing I'd like to do is replace all these photos that show up in this one with like a bunch of stuff from this Adafruit art pack, for instance, so that we just have, you know, Adafruit logos and all the characters and stuff that we could just add onto the screen there. So that's one thing we'll do. I don't know if you can do, maybe if I go to the bottom, does this ever end? I think this loads more. Yeah, it's just keep loading more over and over. Let's find a cool one. Let's do something like this. I don't know how that'll, oh, that's very busy, isn't it? Maybe these? And let's make Blinka brighter. About I don't know. It's still not the best. You would not probably want to do this for any kind of design printout or website or anything, but that's all right. We're not going for that here. We're just trying to play around. What else should we change? Let's put the car on this side. Let's move Sparky over to here. Let's find one more thing to add also. Let's start with this so we can see previews. Nope, I went too far. We want other. Let's see here. Those are pretty small looking. About these ones. Oh, this one calls Sparky Hans. Do I have my names wrong? Happy? They're kind of pixelated though. I think they're part of some kind of sprites. Maybe they're used on the playground? What are badgers? All right. That's cool. I would like to take... You know what? Let's do the clue. Let's put a picture of the clue on the PyPortal. You think we will be the first person to ever put a picture of a clue on a PyPortal? So I don't think the clue is here by itself. I could probably get it out of this, like with Adobe Illustrator or Inkscape, but I don't want to go to quite that much work. So I think what I'll do is just snag it right out of this. Okay. Got our clue, copy it. Really, we wanted to save it, not copy it, didn't we? Okay, let's go to GIMP so we can save it. Save it. I don't know if we want to put it back in here. This is a repo. That's all right. Blue badge. Now we can go back to our page here. Upload. Alert pack, clue badge. There it is. Drag it in. It's pretty big. Let's scale it down. There we go. We'll go, let's put Foamy Guys Cyclops down here. Should come up with a name probably. Okay, that's pretty good. Got a lot of stuff going on. Let's save that. Let's make sure the camera's ready. Oh, so I saved the leaves before, but this will be even more stuff. Let's change the background again. It's kind of fun just playing with this stuff now that I have a... Oops. Oh. Okay, that's a bummer. So what happened is I clicked on one of these links. All of these image tiles, they have links. And I clicked on one of those and it took me off of this page and it did it in the same tab that I was in. It didn't open a new tab. And hadn't saved? Wait, let me reload. Yeah, okay, okay. So same thing happened, but just further along than I thought. So this is the current version. I clicked back right here, and this took me back to like before it had been saved, basically. So I just refreshed right now. Now we got the current version, which is in the database, but unfortunately, our clue badge is gone because that was not saved yet. Let's just put it back real quick. And then I'll shuffle these around real fast. I'll change the background, and then we'll get into coding. It is fun to play with this thing now, though. Yeah, thank you, Keith. I'm interested in other ways this could be used. One idea I had was like if you had a PyPortal and your friend had a PyPortal, or like a family member or something, you could both hook your PyPortals up and you could like control one another's plan, right? So then you could like, I could set what's on your thing for the day, and you could set what's on my thing for the day, and you could go in and change it whenever you want. That might be kind of cool if you have like a close friend or something like that. You could always just put different pictures and images up there that they could see. Okay, so we got this. Let's change the background. One thing we would want to do if we do ever go down that road is we would definitely want like users, and the idea of like you can only edit plans that are like your own users, and you have to grant other people the rights to edit it or something, so that people could not just change it. Like right now, anybody who comes to this page can change it, which right now the server is only running on my thing, so it doesn't matter. But if we put it out on the internet and let other people use it, we definitely don't want that. Those are kind of neat, but it's a little bit busy. This blue thing's pretty cool. Or water. Let's do the water. Oh no, I did it again. Oh, that's terrible. Okay, I'll stop messing around. Okay. I guess really what I should do is fix that to make those links not do that. Really, though, I guess there's a bunch of ways. Well, we don't really want it to save. I think we want the save action to be explicit. The best high-level fix would be those links should open in a new tab. That way they wouldn't break. They wouldn't change what you're working on. Let me do this a little bit, too. We're going to go Sparky in that side, car down here. Only guy here. Okay. I'll just choose one of the top ones. It's pretty good looking. Maybe we could line the car up with this white triangle so it kind of looks like it belongs. Ah, nice. That makes it align with the clue as well. One thing I noticed is you can nudge the things with the keys, the arrow keys, which is pretty cool. It's just built into Palatino for us. Yeah, that's nice. Okay. Okay. Stop messing with it and save it. So here's our PyPortal. We're going to come back to here. We're going to save it. As long as this thing is still working, then it will update within 10 seconds. One thing I've noticed is the PyPortal does not have any like it doesn't have any fallback logic right now. It just fails and then stops working, so it'll crash. But you can see here we got it to work. So there's our clue, our blinka, our horrible yellow on yellow and white on yellow text right there. But nonetheless, we're able to update it live. Open the link in the new tab might be the easiest. Yeah. The other, one thing too is once we have our own images in here, hopefully we can control this and just not have those links, or if we do want to have links, new tab is the way. Like it. Okay. Let's work on the PyPortal code. So right now the MD5 logic is not good enough. What can happen is, let's say we download the plan, and the plan says that we do need to download a new image. So the plan has a different MD5 than the one that we had stored in memory. So we need to download a new image, but let's say hypothetically it fails, or the PyPortal gets unplugged before it succeeds or something. At this point, we have already saved the plan with the new MD5 in it. And when we boot back up, that new MD5 is going to be the one that we read the first time. but the image that we set is going to be the old image because we haven't actually downloaded the image yet, or maybe we haven't downloaded it successfully yet. So we want to not override plan.json until after we successfully save the image. So I think instead of just downloading this as plan, we are going to call this one new plan. We're going to open new plan. We are going to call this variable new plan so that it's the same. So if the local MD5, which we read out of plan JSON, which is kind of like old plan JSON, currently downloaded plan, essentially this plan should have the same MD5 as this image file. The crux of this is I don't know if we can calculate, I suspect we cannot calculate MD5s in CircuitPython. So really, instead of just keeping the MD5 in the JSON, right now this MD5, it's getting generated in the Django server. Instead of storing it in the JSON and writing it to the SD card, what we'd really like to be able to do is on the PyPortal, read the file, get the hash of it. That way we could prove like, yes, it's the same as the one in there, or no, it's not. I don't think we can do that. I haven't actually tried, so maybe I'm calling it too early, but I don't think we can, so I went down this road. So here we've loaded old plan and we put it into plan JSON, and we get local MD5 out of there. So we do still have a plan JSON, but that's okay. We download new plan, save it into new plan, load it into memory, check local MD5 against new plan. If they're different, set local MD5 to the new plan MD5. We should not do this yet, though. We should do this after. This should be the last thing we do. Yeah. So if they're different, we're going to download the image. That's the first thing we're going to do. We're going to try to download the image. That's the URL. This is where we want to save it. Do we want to save it there, or do we want to save new image? I think is there an os.rename? So you can see this is just looping. I'm going to go to REPL. REPL. Import OS. That was a weird sounding thing. os.tab. Rename. There is a rename. Do we want to use rename? Yeah, I think we want to do this. So let's go. That way we can only override plan image if we successfully downloaded. That way, if we fail, the next time we boot up, we'll show the old image, but we'll try to download the new image again. Yeah, that's what we want. So we're going to save this as new plan image. If it was successful, if we get down to here, then it was successful. Now we can update local MD5. We can rename os.rename new plan to just plan. Huge shout out, by the way, to I know Jeff has done work on this lately. I don't know if Jeff did the original stuff that we're using here in PyPortal. I have no idea. If so, thank you to Jeff, but thank you to Jeff anyway for his work on SD cards. The fact that we can have an SD card on this PyPortal and get it mounted up inside here somehow and just like access it as though it's a regular file, this is amazing. I really like that this is so easy. Huge thanks to Jeff and whoever else was involved in that. So we are going to rename it plan.json. We are also going to do the same thing with the image. Rename new plan image to plan image. Plan image. Yeah, same one we show. And then finally, after we have done all of that, we will set the background to the file that is now plan image. I wonder if os.rename raises an exception if the file you're trying to rename to already exists. I guess we'll find out. Let's give this a try. So one thing is, I think I'm in the REPL still, yeah. Let's go that there and restart. Focus. So there's our startup image, just blink with a heart there. It's from one of the PyPortal projects. I don't know which one. Okay. That seemed to work. Yeah, that seems like it's working. I don't know a super easy way that we could test whether it works in the case of failing the download. I don't know a great way to force it to fail the download. Well, I can stop the server, but I need to stop. You would have to do it after it got the JSON, before it got the BMP. It does take it a while to get the BMP, though. We could just unplug the PyPortal. Let's do that. Let's go back to here. We're going to have to change the page because we want it to download a new one. Let's try this. I don't know how well that'll show up. Let's try it. So we want to go save. We want to wait for it to get the JSON. We want to let it start downloading the image and then pull the plug. It's not going to finish downloading the image. And what we hope for is that when it boots back up, it shows this image, which is the one that it had before. It will shortly thereafter download the new one, or at least attempt to download the new one. But when it first boots back up, it should show this one. Okay. Oh, did I not save this? Maybe I didn't save this. Let's do that. Make sure this still works. Add time.sleep between the two. Oh. Yeah, then I could definitely do it even before it starts downloading. That's a good point. Thank you. Focus. Focus pocus. Okay, so we got our background changed. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. Oh, well, no. That's not. Wouldn't that'd be kind of cool if you could just pass a print to time.sleep? I don't know, that's probably not good. 3. So theoretically, the first time through the loop, until I save the new one, I don't think it will try that code yet. Shouldn't. Yeah. But saved the new plan. Interestingly, it would not override plan unless it was different. That's nice, though. I think that's what we want. Okay, let's give it a try. Save. Let's make sure, yeah, we have this. Maybe let's go this over here. And we could shrink this down some. Some of the stuff doesn't fit all the way when it's too small, but that's all right. We need this big ugly save button over here. Save. So then we'll watch here, and I don't have the camera up, but I'm gonna unplug it when it shows that. So now it's unplugged. Detected my stream deck. Hopefully it will switch back. It's like there, this is the camera, so it's unplugged now. Focus pocus. There's that. So now we're gonna plug it back in, and we should see the colorful one, not the white one, backgrounded there with the triangles and stuff. There's that. Maybe we can have, nope. Okay. There's our startup screen. Yep, there's our colorful collage. And then theoretically, it'll wait here. It'll download. Oh, we get to test it again. Oh, I see. No, I made it fail. Because we were never calling rename. So actually, we're going to find out if rename. This would probably be higher, right? If we were running Pylint, Pylint would want it up here, I think. Find out if this raises an exception if the file exists. Okay. Colorful shapes. Downloading in 3, 2, 1. Now. Downloading. Okay. So, yeah. Rename must have worked because it's showing the new version. I guess one more thing we could do is let's just verify, like if we go, well, I mean, our code says show plan image. So yeah, definitely we downloaded the new one and definitely we renamed it to plan image, and that must have worked because we can see it now. Okay. Sweet. So that is working. Let me check one thing. Okay. What else do we want to do inside of here? Can shrink that now. Be nice maybe if there was a different way to choose your plans so that you could choose what plan you want and maybe even change between plans. That way you could like set up multiples and swap between them. Be kind of cool. I don't have a super clear idea. Try saving once more to verify it works. Yeah, that's a good idea. Saving a new one. Let's do it. Let's change up some more. Been working with this stuff for a minute. Let's get rid of the car for now. Let's add something new. Should not change very much, or else I should be very careful not to click a link. Maybe I should go fix that. So Blinka I got out of here. These are fairly small, I think. Yeah. That's why Blinka's getting scaled up. Do we want another one of these? Yeah, let's grab, oh, this one says Hans is the chip. Let's get heart pack emojis. Can we do multiple? Nice, we can. Let's take Sparky out because it works now. It's not bugged. Let's put Blinka a little smaller. She won't be fuzzy on here anymore. Let's move her name up. Let's make it, well, we'll mess with the color after we get the background. Let's move Foamy out of here. Let's move PyPortal. No, excuse me. Let's move Clue down to here. Oh. I've dropped all the frames. This one thinks we're still streaming. I still see stuff moving in my Twitch preview. Maybe I'm still here. If I'm cutting in and out, or if the whole stream died off there for a second, sorry about that. You're back up. Okay. Thank you. Where were we at? So yeah, let's get Minerva in here. I don't know why the default size is so much bigger than size of the image. I mean, I think this thing, the defaults in it are like 1080 by 1080, so it's definitely made for very large images. Let's get Ruby and Hans. I think Hans is a 555. I'm not sure. Make Hans a little bigger. Pull up that little spot there. Let's do it like that. And do not click on any of the links. Let's go backgrounds. Do not click on any of the links. What does that look like? I don't like it. Ooh, that one was close. Need to be careful. Just pick something, doesn't matter. Have them on the fence. Oh, this looks nice. Yeah, I like this. Let's do this one. And this is pretty good. Maybe we'll choose just a little bit. That orange looks pretty good. You know what? Let's play with the text a little more too. I haven't really messed with this too much. I don't know what all we have here. Text stroke. Ooh, that's nice. Yeah, that's nice, so that we can have it on different images and it still shows up good. Let's look, anything else in here? Shadow? No, we don't want that. No, we don't want that. I don't know, those seem to be making it blurry. Oh, not that blurry though. Okay, let's do it just like this. And what other fonts do we have? Let's do that. That's gonna be tough maybe for the PyPortal. I don't know. We'll see how it looks. Make it bigger though, since this is much smaller font. Do that. We'll scooch the clue a little bit still. Or we can just fit it right in here. We don't have much padding, but that's all right. Okay. Camera. Don't click any links. Save. Let's go here. Save. Wait, here, I don't remember what side this is on. Okay, that's on the right side. There we go. Got the new plan. Download a new image. Boom, there it is. All right. Wow, that actually, that font actually looks pretty nice. I was thinking that would come out a little more pixelated, but honestly, that's looking really nice. Okay. So that's good. This MD5 handling is much better. Because now it can... Basically, how I figured this out is it failed to download at one point. It got like partway through, but didn't finish. And then when it rebooted, it didn't know that the one it had was broken, basically. So it showed the one it had, and it didn't download the new one until I saved another new one. So that wasn't great, but now we got that solved. What else do we want to do here? Let's see about changing. Could we maybe let's see about changing those links to open in a new tab. Eventually we're going to replace these images. I think that's probably going to be more of a process. Could we do something like... Is there like some JavaScript we could put that would make it so any link that's clicked will open in a new tab? Or even better would be if we could target it. Well, yeah, we have jQuery. We could target it to... Oh, it doesn't want to show up. There we go. Oh, but these don't have a class. I mean, I guess we could do based on the href as unsplash. It's a clean and quick update. Yeah. Yeah, I'm really happy with the way it's working now. This is basically the exact kind of cycle I had in mind. So, you know, there's lots more we could do with it still, but this got me like a lot of the way closer to being able to use this for the way that I need to for my job, my day job. There's no class or anything. Credit, we could go, maybe we could say look it up by all anchors that are inside spans that are inside the credit class div. That would be probably what we want. Let's see if there's a way we can do that. JavaScript open all. Well, we'll say that, but we'll try to cut it down to only specific ones. I mean, I guess we could look up the elements and just add this to them with jQuery, right? Yeah, that's basically what I was thinking right there. Yeah, this is pretty much what we want. We can use some jQuery to pare it down a little bit as well. So app, let's go do this just inside of what is essentially the constructor. Inside of ReactJS, this is a component, I believe. And components can be classes, and if they're classes, they have to override the render method. But they can also be functions, and if they're functions, then they basically like are the render method. It's like the same stuff that you would put inside the render. So if you don't need to do anything else, then you can do it this way with a function. I think we just want to do it right inside of here. I mean, maybe we want to do it... you know what? We want to do it after... We're going to definitely want to do it after all this stuff loads. I wonder if the ones that aren't on the page yet, as we scroll down, are gonna not have this. We'll put it right here, right before we return, so everything should be set up. We're gonna say .credit, so inside whatever thing has the class credit, which we know is a div. Well, we know that one's a div. Inside credit, inside span, and then anchor tag. Yeah. Does this work on the page? Be nice to check if it's going to find the right stuff. So maybe we could, oh, that's all right. We'll just put it here. Take care when pasting things. I'm the one who wrote it. Oh, please type. I guess I should read what it says. Allow pasting. Enter. Got syntax error. Paste. One thing though, it doesn't seem like it got a list. Yeah, it doesn't have a length. Did find one. Copy, can't copy the link. Yeah. I don't know which one that is, but it's the first one, I guess, maybe, right? Yeah. Okay. How do we... Why would it find one? Doesn't, I thought the default behavior of jQuery was like find all. Find all. Elements. Div? What does this get us? This is not jQuery. This is though. Find. Maybe find is what we need. jQuery find. Get the descendants of each element in the current set of matched elements filtered by a selector. Yeah, that sounds promising. So inside of credit span, no. But there's multiple credits. So we need to go farther out. We need to go farther out. We can't go, can't start with credit. We need to start with the side panel. One of these two, hopefully. But neither of them have a class. Here we go. Palatino side panel. That'll work. Let's go Palatino side panel. And then find, might be able to just find anchor tags inside of there. Let's check it out. No. Find is not a function. all list elements, you can do type. Okay, let's start with one at a time, I guess. Does this resolve? Yes. I don't have any kind of helper here. Find is not a function. I wonder. Yeah, this, I mean, version added 1. Something very strange is going on here. jQuery find is not a function. Element is a DOM element, not a jQuery object. But mine is jQuery object, is it not? Yeah. Because this... No. I was going to say that would be the HTML element. Ooh, this is interesting. What do we do? What do we get if we just do this? We only got one thing. Why are we only finding single things? jQuery only finds one thing. No, I don't want to do that. But I mean, you gotta have other code to do that. Something... I have some kind of broken jQuery, I think. You're only finding one thing. No. Yes. Okay, this looks promising. What? The debugger shortcut. Why on earth would the debugger override such a commonly used thing and make it do something different? Console.log not jQuery. Function. Function in AB. And this is function no parameters. So does this work? Well, it's still not jQuery. I'd really like to just use the jQuery that I have instead of learning a whole new way to look things up with double dollar signs. Dollar sign from jQuery. So I think the problem, though, I could try to set a variable inside of here, but I can't use those inside of my console. So does this work? Just like it said, double lookup A? Okay. Yeah. This got 41, most likely because it got this unsplash one here. This got 40, which don't include the unsplash one at the top. Probably, I'm guessing, but I'm not going to verify. So now we're looking those up. That page that says how to set the target is long gone. Maybe that's in the code. So the other thing is we just went down that whole rabbit hole, but inside of here, I'm pretty sure single dollar sign is actual jQuery and not pretend debugger not jQuery. So I think inside of here, it's going to work right. So that whole time we were trying to validate whether it was going to work right, and we had to figure out a whole different way to do it. Don't think it actually applies to inside of here. So we don't really need find either. Target equals underscore blank. Can you set the attribute on multiple things? Let's just try it. Tired of wondering and looking up. So we need to recompile this. So we got our compile script here. This is going to run npm build, and it's going to copy the resulting script into the spot where Django's looking for it. While that's running, I'm going to fill up my water. Be right back. Okay, that finished. Let's reload. See if it worked. That was a lot of work, but it will save us the pain of ever losing our, oh, this is index right here. We need to make the index better, but not right now. Brush. Ooh, that was interesting, all the loading things. Okay, so theoretically, we click this. No, that did not work. It also seemed like it added it to the, yeah, it like added it to the page. Oops. Ooh, I don't know if I can get that back. Control-Alt-T. Control, yeah, whatever. We'll just open a new one. Be back from here? No. That's not working. I don't think we can inspect. Doesn't have target. So, but I'm not sure if it would show in there. Let's try to debug this a little bit. Console.log this. See what that prints. We need to compile again. One of the bad things about this whole stack is if we want our React page to run under Django, after we make a change, we have to recompile it every time. So we have to kind of wait for this to go. We could probably be testing this under npm. We'll do that next time. I think this is probably done by now. Yeah. For this specific thing, we could probably do it under the npm run test server, since we're not really interacting with the backend for this. But what did this print? Maybe we should have put more stuff. Still need to fix the API key thing. Okay. Now we should have a label. Oh, but okay, yeah, so let's do this. Terminal 9 page, is it npm run? No. Start. Yes. If we don't want this page. Do you want to go back to here? This should be running, maybe? So if we go, oh, well, we could see it on the root. That's all right. No. Yeah. So one of the things I did, which I did not actually show earlier at the beginning, is that we need a way to inject data from Django, from the Django backend into this React front end. The way that I settled on doing that, well, let's back up one step. Traditionally, one of the ways that Django can get data from the backend to the front end is in your view. When you return, well, we need a front end view. Front end views. When you return and you render a template, it's using Jinja 2. So if you're familiar with like the cookie cutter, I think cookie cutter uses Jinja 2 for templating. So Django has Jinja 2 templates built in. So we are rendering a template with Jinja 2, and we pass it this context object, which can be, it can hold, it's just a dictionary, and it can hold any data we want. And then inside the template, we can access that data with, let's go to templates, this, and let's make it nicer. Inside of there, you can access those individual dictionary keys by calling up their name here. So if we say double curly brackets context data, it means that we will get whatever the value of context data in this dictionary is, will get substituted into our page before it gets rendered. So in this case, I put all my data into one big context data field within my dictionary, and I'm adding it to a data attribute on a div here. And inside of my React app, it's trying to read that data and do stuff with it. And the specific data that's in there is like the JSON that is loading to show all of this stuff. So I think we could maybe try to only do some of this stuff if input data exists. Because this should make it undefined, probably. I don't know. I don't want to rewrite the logic in here too much for this case. Maybe we could have a different page for this. Maybe it would be worth it. Let's try it. If not, no, if input data is undefined or it exists but doesn't have an ID, then we're going to post a create plan. This is inside click save. Need to find all the spots that use input data. Here we're on the else block, so it definitely was not undefined. What is this? No. Here it's definitely defined. Here it will print undefined, which is fine if input data not equal to undefined, then we can do this. Okay, might be the only spots. So if we save that, theoretically, Port 3000. Yeah, port 3000 goes back to working. And the thing we were actually looking at in the console is here. Find these links. Object. Length 0. So I think what's happening is that, because like this stuff doesn't load instantly. If I refresh the page, there's a loading spinner on there. I bet you my code is executing before it's finished loading. So there might be some proper way to get a callback, but I don't know what it is. And I probably won't be going for too much longer tonight, so I don't know if there's time to look it up. Let's see. Keith says we need to devote some time. Yeah, Django's really awesome. I like it. It's very large. There's a lot to it to get your head wrapped around. And I'm still constantly discovering stuff that I've never used before that's super helpful. But I really like it as a platform. I've been able to build things that are way better than they would have been if I had to start more from scratch than Django. A lot of the built-in stuff is super nice. I don't know exactly what I was showing when you said that, sorry. I wasn't keeping a close enough eye on the chat, but definitely love me some Django. So we could, call back for like when it's done loading. That would be probably the ideal solution. What we could do maybe instead of the ideal solution, possibly just wait for some time. Let's see what happens. Let's clear this. Refresh. Okay. So it ran 3 times, which is interesting. Not sure why it ran 3 times. Doesn't necessarily matter, I don't think. Did it work? Let's see if it worked. If I click this, oh, I got a new tab. This? Yep. Okay. So I don't think I care it goes 3 times. I mean, be nice if it didn't, but there's not too much of a downside, I don't think. We could probably push this up some. I guess it's depending on your network. Maybe we'll go 2 seconds. Yeah, I got there quicker that time. That's all right. I won't do it that fast, hopefully. And this is much better than it's much better than if it were deleting my work after 10 minutes of messing around with it or something. So we'll do that. That's pretty good. Let's take these. We don't really need these. Let's just delete them. Or do we want to leave it as a reminder that it's running 3 times? I think that's all right. Okay. So that's nice. I think that might be all that I do for now. I think the next kind of stuff, I mean, there's a bunch of little things I want to try to improve on the server. I'd like to try to replace all these images with stuff from the Adafruit art pack. That'd be kind of cool if we could have like all the different emojis in there and different stuff. Not that long ago, posting with some code while the stream is on. Nice, yeah. I like working alongside folks stream like that. So yeah, there's a lot of things I'd like to do on this side of it. On the PyPortal side, one thing we need is we don't have any kind of like. Oh wait, why is this? Oh no, what have I done? I've deleted main or something. Yeah. Deleted the main loop there. There's no error handling, so the first time that it fails, it just crashes. It'd be nice if it would retry. The other thing is, actually, we might have fixed that. What happens if we stop the Django server? Stop the Django server. What happens here? Ah, yeah, it crashes. So one thing that would be nice is if this would not crash and instead just keep showing the image it has for now. That could be something to fix on the PyPortal side. I think the main other thing I want on the PyPortal side is a way to select the plan. Right now it's always just using this hard-coded. I just picked 20 because that happened to be the first one that actually worked all the way in this system. I think it'd be cool. I don't know the right way to control it though. Maybe we could use the touchscreen. Use the touchscreen and the user can have up and down arrows, or maybe they're invisible. Hey, stop messing with that. 1 second, gotta shoo the cat away. Hey, stop. Hey. Stop. Here. Okay. Lord knows what he's gonna yank off the desk. Okay. Where was that? Yeah, PyPortal stuff to update. Maybe invisible buttons or something. Anyway, some way that the user on the PyPortal can control this so that they could change the plans. I think that'd be really cool. Maybe they punch it in when they first start. I don't know. I kind of like it just loading automatically. So maybe it loads one by default and then you just have up and down, or a way that you can punch in a number. I don't know. That's probably the next stuff I'll work on the PyPortal side, though. On the Django side, I think just improving the page a little bit, fixing the save button. Been ignoring that for a minute because it works, but I'd like to get the save button somewhere along the top. Maybe we'll add another bar up there. We can put the save button on that. Getting the Adafruit images loaded up inside of here. We could probably just leave the backgrounds alone for now, I think. What else? It's probably good for the short term. Okay, yeah, getting attacked by the cat here. Gonna definitely have to call it in a minute. Let me change this. We'll get a nice outro going here. We can change the PyPortal and set it up. Let's go here. If anybody joined late and hasn't seen it work yet, this will be nice too. This is a chance for other folks to see it. So let's get this back working. So yeah, no retry logic in here at all. So we're just gonna go boom, boom, back to REPL, back to running. Hey, Okay, here's this. Let's change it. No, we don't want that. Let's go. Ooh, I almost got the links. Splash of pink. Clouds. I like the clouds. Let's do this. Let's make the clue smaller. Move it around. Let's put me over here. Clue over here. Really, we should have not Ruby. I think we want... Try Billy. Got Billy in here. This thing is pretty nice, this designer thing. I'm really liking how easy it is to just kind of... Boom, 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 just go through this stuff like this. Part of my desire to practice with this is to get more used to using the actual designer here too. So it may seem like I'm just messing around with this for no reason, but it's just to get some practice in. Let's add, maybe we'll get some more. Let's get Connie in here. Get a bunch of the team, and let's go like this. You know, it'd be cool is if we got a Django dragon too, but that's all right. We'll save that for later. Let's go Blinka bigger. And let's do this. Thank you for watching. So we're gonna do that. It's much too big right now, so we will kick it down a little bit maybe. Like that. And let's put Blinka up here. Okay. That's probably fine. Okay. So now we've got our new page loaded up. We can have the camera here. Let's go smaller. It's nice the way it shrunk that time. Save it. So this will load up over here. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. Uh-oh, we got a blinking lights back there. That might be bad. Let's see what we got. Oh, nope, there it goes. Okay, we got it. So there's our new image. As the PyPortal says there, thank you for watching. I hope you folks found this interesting, even though it's, you know, kind of farther outside of the normal CircuitPython stuff. If you are interested in this kind of thing and you want me to cover it more in future streams, let me know. I'll probably be, especially on Saturday, I'll probably be getting back into more nuts and bolts CircuitPython stuff. So if this is the kind of thing that interests you, though, I do have some more practice to do. So let me know, and I can. I'm happy to stream it along. But anyway, thanks for all those folks who joined. Keith, thank you. I hope you have a good night. And let's go. Thank you all for hanging out. Let's do that. And yeah, that's going to be it for now. I'll see you next time.